Yeah, I have started the recording. And I have shared my screen now. So this is the Dynamics home page. I have created a trial environment online version 9.1. And once you log in, this is the home page which you will be presented with. You will be landing onto the Dynamics 365 custom app, which includes all the customization and all the modules in the system. And this uh, dashboard will be the default landing page, and this you can customize to whatever the home page you want, whether it can be a report or any SSRS report or any entity view. You can set it as your default home page. So as part of the demo, we'll be on creating a model driven app and a few web resources which we can add it on any of the form. So let's say why we will go for a model driven app. So whatever modules or integrations or whatever applications the Microsoft has provided here, these all are called as model driven apps. These apps are created for a specific purpose. Say, let's say you have customer service app. This includes all the customization related to customer service module. And in the same way, if we come to the custom one, this includes all the modules like sales, marketing, and service. So at the top navigation, what you're seeing here, there is the primary navigation, and on the left hand side, what you're seeing, this is the sitemap or this left side navigation, where you can switch between modules. Right now, what we are seeing is the sales module, and the entities and work related to sales modules are shown up here. If we switch from sales to, let's say, service, all the entities and stuff related to service will be loaded here. Some of the common entities like accounts, contacts will be shared across multiple modules. So let's say our company is working on a project that is specific to sales module, and I want to include some of the components related to sales module and create an app and distribute that. How we can do that? Let's see quickly today. So first thing is we have to create an app. So let's say I am working on opportunity management. So opportunity management will contain entities like lead, accounts, contacts, opportunity, quotation, and so on. So all these entities will let us include, which are out of the box entities. Along with that, if you want to include any custom entities also, we can do and create a package that can be called as an app, which will be a model driven app, which you will develop using the Power Apps portal, Power Apps platform. And based on roles, we can add the required members also and give privileges. So let's go and design our own app and call it as opportunity management. So for that, we need to go to settings. So you have the settings option here. From here, we need to go to advanced settings. In settings, you can see here, you can see all the applications or my apps that will be listed here. So here you can see all the apps that are there in the system now. So for example, Dynamics 365 custom. This includes the complete customization in the system. Then you have customer service module, field service module, project service module. So any of the custom module app model driven app that you create also will be listed here. So to create a model driven app, first thing you need to start with create new app. So this everything, what all customization you are doing in this app will be under this Power Apps platform. So there are two types of apps. One is model driven app and one more is canvas app. Canvas apps also you can build individual components and add it on the entity forms or any dashboard as you wish. Like how you add HTML components, in the same way you can add even the canvas apps to which are developed using this Power Apps portal, Power Apps platform. So let's call it as this model driven app as opportunity management, and include all the entities that are associated with opportunity creation and management. So if you want to include a description for this app, you can give it here. And if you want to use a default image, you can go with this default type tile. If you do not want, if you want to select uh, from if you have a custom one, you can add it as a resource and you can select it from this list. Or if you want to select an existing one from the system also, you can go with that. So right now I'll use a default image. I'll check this box, and once we have provided all the details, I'll click on this button here, done. This will open the Sitemap Designer, where we need to design the sitemap and include all the entities that are related to our opportunity management. So first we can just go ahead and design the sitemap. Automatically all the components like dashboard, business process flow and entities related to this will be added. When I say entity, it includes all the views, forms, charts and so on. So we can first add the individual components, then design the sitemap, or if we just design the sitemap, all the components related to that will be automatically added. So we'll just go for the sitemap editor. So when I say sitemap, we are going to design something like this, what you're seeing in the left navigation here. So you have the sections like my work, customers, sales, collateral, what all we want to add in opportunity management, how we design the sitemap here. We can customize and design it here. So this sitemap area will contains three sections, that is area, group and sub area. So first is we have the new area. Well, for this, let's give it as give a name for this. This is the common area. Then let's add one more area called my work, and let's add one more area related to let's call it as sales section. Reports and dashboards. So I'll just create one for reports and one for dashboards. So in the common area, let's create a group. and call it as accounts, and under accounts I'm going to add the required entities here. Let's say we can add the customer or account entity. The same way I'll add one more entity, account, contact. Let us add four groups, one for accounts and one for my work and one for sales. So in my work, I'm going to add multiple sub areas. In first one, I'll add activities, activity entity. I'll add email messages. If we have an entity called custom entity called milestone, and what all milestone we need to achieve, and if there is something like that we can add, and if there is something as a goal to achieve, we can add that as my work. And under sales, let's add again multiple sub areas. Here in the first one, I'll again select an entity and add lead, opportunity, code. Let's limit to these three entities. And in reports, let's add a few reports that are available. For adding report, for adding the components, these are the types what we have. One is dashboard, entity, web resource, or the custom URL we can add. Let's say we have a sub area and you want to call a organization application, any other application from this. If you have an integration, then you can provide that other application URL here. Or if you want to add a web resource which will call a component like HTML or any other components, you can build it here. If you want to add an entity here, if you want to add a dashboard here, report is also an entity, so you can just go and select report. And let's say we'll add a few dashboard. If you want, we can come here, select the type as dashboard. So from the available dashboard, I'll just go and select something related to sales activity dashboard. Also, in the my work, let me add a custom component, that is web resource. I have a web resource added. So let me just check if we can add it here. I'll just give it as a sample HTML as web resource. And this I have just added the sample HTML, which will just take the username, which will have a small page like which will take username, password, and have a submit button. This is the HTML page which I have created, and just add that as the web resource. Name it as application. So with this, what we are doing is we are creating a model driven app called opportunity management, which includes entities like lead, opportunity quotes, reports, dashboards, and in my work we have added a few stuffs. With this as a package, we can create a app, and let's say user works on only of these entities, we can create a package and release it so that the user will not be able to see other entities, and it will be only for a specific purpose. So model driven app can be created with a few components only, or it can be a large application. It can be intended for a specific purpose also. So let me just save this.
Hey, brother.
Yes, Ronak.
Yeah, just had a question about this app. So, uh, this is like totally custom app, right? We just design everything from a scratch.
Yes.
But do we have option to extend what we have existing, like out of box, like let's say whatever we saw earlier? Can we just create an extension, or do we have to kind of duplicate it and then create as a new?
So whatever you have here, the app what you're seeing here, right?
Yeah, right.
Yeah, we can customize this.
Okay, so that will be just an extension, or will that be
It will be just an extension.
okay?
So once you save it, this sitemap, you have to publish it. So once we publish, we can go back to our app designer. So automatically all the related views, forms, charts, and dashboard will be added. So let's say from account entity, I don't want all the forms, then I can go to the forms, and instead of selecting all, we can select only the required ones. So in the same way, we can do it for all the entities. So with this, we are ready with the sitemap, all the components related to that like entity, business process flow, and dashboard. We can save this, then validate if there is any errors, and publish it. So there are some dependency for this. So let me just include all as of now. So once we create the app, we can assign some security roles for this. So if we assign roles only for the specific security roles, the user will be able to see this particular app. So now we got this opportunity management app here. If you see this more options, once you click here, you will be able to see the manage roles part where you can assign the specific roles. So only people with the specific roles will be able to see this particular app. So once you click on this app, you can see there will so let me do one thing. Instead of adding the required details, let me just try to keep less information. Okay, maybe activities also be removed, I think, from there. We'll do one thing, we'll quickly create a new one. So I'll just include lead and opportunity entity and save this. So we have opportunity management. Let's see this. So just we have added one area called sales, and under that we have added leads and opportunity. So how that will be displayed in the home page? Yes. You can see the custom app visual we have created. One is lead management, opportunity, and opportunity management. So like this, it will appear. And since we have admin privilege, we are able to see all the apps here. But if we have end user with only roles like account manager and all, then we can see just the assigned apps in our name. And also, if we have created one app yesterday, let me quickly show that as well. I'll go to my apps, and we have one app called lead management, which we just created this yesterday. So if you see the designer page of that, this includes the following entities: lead, opportunity, and activity entity. And in the sitemap, we have added common area with leads and opportunities, activities, and dashboard. So if we just access that module or app, so every app will have its own GUID, and this will have area like common, activities, and dashboard, and default landing will be the leads entity. So like this, you can create any number of model driven apps and distribute it to the customers. So any questions, Ronak, so far?
No, not. I mean, I'll ask that.
Okay. So also next part we are going to cover related to web resources. So before that, so this is the app model which Microsoft introduced version 8.2, and this app will be something like you can create a model app as a package and puts in which can include dashboard, form, views, business process flows, and so on. And every app will have its own app ID, which will be a GUID. So using this, you can form the app URL as well, construct, and whenever you want to distribute, you can use the app ID in the URL. So the user will directly land onto the particular app and don't have to come from the custom app always. So it's very easy to create an app or to edit an existing app. So we need to go to system settings. For default app name, what we can do is we can go to system settings and default name will be set here, default app name, which can be edited. And for creating the custom apps, you have to go to settings, my apps, and from my apps you can create a new app, and here you can associate uh, existing image or you can create your own, and you will have the option to associate entities, dashboard, business process flow, and so on. You have the sitemap designer as well, using which you can design the sitemap. So no code is involved in this, everything is just configuration. In the sitemap editor, you will add the area, group, and sub area. You can add the selected entities and few components like required forms, views, and chats. We can skip if something is not required. Finally, we have to save this, validate, and publish so that it will be visible in the left navigation. And this will be based on roles. So we can give access to specific roles in the. This is the brief description about app model in Dynamics 365. And coming to the web resources, anything that you want to, if you want to add a JavaScript validation, web resources are nothing but HTML component or JavaScript file or any images like PNG format image or any other image formats you want to add. All these things can be added as web resources in that. So you will add it as a web resource in a common place, and that web resource can be a reference from any entity in the system. So you will create it once and use it in multiple places. So how to create a web resource and call it from any pages? So I have sample two HTML pages and one JavaScript file. This JavaScript file will use the namespace you can call this particular function. For example, if you want to call any function here, you can use the fully qualified name like crm.training.lead form events dot redirect form. So this will check the data on the form and redirect the user to the specific form based on the condition. So if you want to call this particular function on any of the form, then how we can do that? How we can add it as web resource? Let's see that. First thing, we have to go to settings, customization. If you already have a solution, you can open the solution. If not, we can create a new one, and in the solution we can add the new web resources required. So I'll go to solution. I've created a solution called training. In this, I have created a HTML component or JavaScript file here. So let's just see this. How we can create a new one is, just go to this new, whatever we are creating, web resource. Give the name, display name. In type, you select the appropriate category. In our case, it's JavaScript, JScript. We can create a HTML component, any image format files or Silverlight file or XML file here. So the one JavaScript which we have created is this one. And you can either choose the file or you can go to the text editor and copy the entire code what you have written to this particular source. Once you have this, you can reference this particular JavaScript file in the form library, and also we have this HTML also created. It's just the login page kind. So how you can do is go to the text editor and go to the source and paste all the content. In the rich text, you can just see how it looks. So we have one HTML and one JavaScript file. Go to the entity form where you want to add this. In our case, we are going to lead form. And let's go to any of the forms. So to add the web resource, first we need to include that as a library file for this particular form. Go to insert, and web resource for adding HTML file. But let's first see the JavaScript, how we can call the function. So go to form properties. You will have this particular events here. In the events, first you add the JavaScript file which you have created. Click on add, search for the file and add it. So you'll get the file here. Then from this file, any of the events or functions can be called here, event handlers. So you can call the JavaScript function on load, on save, or any of the tab change events or field change events. That is, once you click on the tab, you can call the function. Once you enter something on the field and click somewhere outside, it's the tab change, field change. So you can call it on load of form, on save of form, on change of any field, or tab selection. So just click on add, select the appropriate library file, give the complete full qualified function name if you are using the namespace. If not, only the function name will do the job. If you are passing the execution context as first parameter, if you are using this, so execution context will be the first parameter which you can pass it from the window here, and this will contain all the information from the form, like what's the data of a specific field, or what are the sections available, tabs available. If you want to control, then everything on the form will be available in this execution context. So if you want to take the data of one of the field, then you will use the form context, which will be derived from execution context. Then using form context, you can get the attribute value. You can get the forms that are available and all. So this is how you add the call the JavaScript function. And also, if you want to include any of the custom HTML component, then you just go to insert web resource, select the specific web resource which you want, select, search it here. Once you get that, select it and click on OK. I just added a sample here on the right side corner. You can see this. Once it is done, we can go back to the, and on the lead we have added. So let me just open the lead form. So one is we have just added a new field called department, and we have added the JavaScript code on load and on change of this particular department. So on change, we can add it from this form properties, or you can just double click the field and go to the events associated with this particular field. Click on add, and you can select the library function. This is how you add it on change of the field. You can see we have added the new field, and onload JavaScript function is called, and you can see the HTML component that is called. One more HTML component we have added here. We can, this not loading, the image is not loading properly because we haven't created the image as web resource. So if you want to debug the added JavaScript file, you just place a line called debugger, and from the form you just click on developer tools, F12, go to F12. Then once you are calling on load, so just refresh it and you can debug from here. This is very handy tool where you can debug the JavaScript function. This is about web resources. Quick introduction to web resources. Yes, Ronak, do you have any questions on the topics that we have covered? And quickly coming to my introduction, I'm Pradeep and I'm from Bangalore. I'm associated with Varnaaz for providing training related to Dynamics CRM. We conduct both online and classroom training. We have delivered classroom trainings for multiple clients. And also, if the client is not in Bangalore, if outside Bangalore or outside India, we even take up online trainings both for corporate and individual or a bank students. So I have close to 13 years of experience in CRM platform, that is both product development as well as training. And I'm associated with Varnaaz for the past 2 to 3 years. And they have a lot of trainings that they offer. Yeah, for more information on trainings and all, you can always contact from here.
Okay, sure, sure. Yeah, like just had a kind of question overall about the overview of the maybe the 365. So, the previous version of the this thing used to call it CRM, and the same side with the ERP side we used to call it AX, right? So,
Yes.
uh, then when we go to Dynamics 365, we see customer engagement and field service and some other things too. Um, so how does I mean, are they still called like CRM components? Like, let's say, is it okay to say CRM includes all of those things like C and everything?
Yeah, it's like previously there was two division. One is Dynamics CRM and one more is Dynamics AX. So they combine both the capabilities of CRM and AX, and now it is called Dynamics 365. So when you say Dynamics 365, it is both CRM plus AX. So the finance and operation is a separate module in Dynamics 365, which is the AX part. And you have other core CRM modules like sales, service, marketing, along with the new modules like field service, project automation service, retail, and talent. So yeah, when you say Dynamics 365, it includes uh, both CRM and as well as the finance and operations.
Okay, got it. I think being a technical person or technical developer, so is there any of the thing needs required a Visual Studio to do the develop the new apps or doing any customization or
So now for developing apps, only the apps using out of the box components, you don't need any developer environment Visual Studio. But let's say on the opportunity, I want to implement some business logic. Let's say on creation of opportunity, you want to send some email or you want to calculate some revenue, you want to calculate some business hours and so on. That can be done using writing the business logic, that is using C sharp code, that is .NET. Then you need the Visual Studio.
hmm
You can go for any Visual Studio 2019 community version or 2015 community version. That will be good.
Okay,
Yeah. But yeah,
okay, got it.
any company like they will not use these opportunity leaps and all just as a vanilla version. There will be definitely some business or
Some customization, yeah,
yes, yes,
for sure.
yes. So definitely you
And
write JavaScript or
okay,
you can go any plugins, custom workflows and all. You have to go with the Visual Studio.
okay. So like adding a field, for example, like let's say custom. I already have customer entity out of box, but I have identified I need to add three new fields, custom fields. So that kind of work will require a Visual Studio, right? Because you need to add a date fields
No,
in
no,
the
no.
backend tables.
No, that's what. Coming to CRM, it's like for adding a field, you don't have to change any of the database components. In fact, changing the database schema is once you do that, Microsoft says it will not be supported. So any change in the
Wow.
database, yeah, should not be taken up. So for creating a field, it's just easy. You have to go to the solution and we have this training right in this is the lead entity. So if you say the right hand side, you can just create a new field here
Okay.
So the available field data types are single line option set. These all are the types what you can create.
I see. Okay. Yeah.
Once you create this, actually when you create an entity, a table in the backend will be created in database. So when you create an entity called, let's say college, there will be a unique name called, let's say, CRM underscore student or CRM underscore college table will be created. And when you're
Right.
adding new fields, new columns will be created in the database. So
Okay.
automated, you don't have to touch the database.
Okay. So behind this, I mean, even in a way, you are changing a database schema, but what you're saying is everything will be done from the front end only, pretty much.
Yes,
The moment you do any back end operations yourself, that thing is not supported. Okay.
yes,
Yeah, it's by the way, Pradip, yeah, I'm from FNO side or the ERP side. In this, which we have the same thing here there too, but here in the CRM side, I think it's a different thing. And I think most of or almost all of the CRM entities are now part of CDS. Correct me.
yes.
Uh,
Yeah.
okay. Yeah, so that's a different. And with the FNO side, it's kind of not. I mean, it's a big, very big number of the tables, right? And the
Mhm.
way we have to do the customization is back to the Visual Studio only. Like even adding the field, we have to add to the staging tables, backend the other main root source data tables, and all that good stuff. So
Okay, got it.
yeah, basically, so yeah, my introduction side, I've been working as an ERP developer, from AX 2009, 2012, and FNO from last few years, and I wanted to get myself trained into the CRM as well as a cross train, because we do
Okay,
have customers. We're going to have this CRM instance for sure, and also we'll have requirement for the Power Apps and the power overall like the Power Platform, right? So I'm kind of familiar with it. I haven't done some of prospect to cash scenario-based POC work too, but wanted to have my fundamentals clear, and that's why I'm kind of looking for the training.
okay, okay.
And so, are we going to have Power Apps module as well, like separately, or like what's? I mean, I probably have to still have to get the CRM training course content. What are we going to cover?
So
Uh,
when you say Power Apps, there are two parts to it. One is model-driven apps, and one more is Canvas apps. So whatever we do in dynamic CRM customization, it will be through Power Apps, that is model-driven apps. So
okay, got it.
when you learn CRM customization, it's like you're learning the model-driven apps only. So for Canvas,
Okay,
they say it's not defaultly included in the content, but if required, the content can be customized to include the Canvas
okay.
as well. Yeah.
Sure. Any chances for doing the in a training module? Can we include integration between this CRM or C with the FNO through the Power Apps or CDS?
Yeah, that any customized topic you provide, we can understand if that can be carried out, and we can check how we can deliver that. Yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
All right. Yeah. I'll reach out to believe her name is Arpita.
Ramya, Ramya. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah,
Okay.
Ramya, yeah.
Okay. So yeah, that was good. We got a good. Basically, I got a overall information about that. This. So I'll be in touch with her and we'll see.
Yeah, yeah. Thanks, Ron,
So,
for attending, and it was nice discussion.
yeah, same here. Thanks for your time. Appreciate
Thank
that.
you. Have a good day. Bye. Bye.
You too. Bye.